The College Basketball Experience Preview and Picks Edition for Friday, February the 2nd on the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, a sports betting research platform for parlays, props, game lines. Download that Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. We're also brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. Head over to cut.com. That's KUTT.com. Promo code SGPN to get a 10% deposit today. And we're also brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon. The guys just dropped their bonus behind-the-scenes episode of Sean winning $200,000 back in the day, baby. Plus, this week's pick'em prize is going for $250 in Super Bowl squares. Get on over there to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon and join today. Yes. Woo-wee. Welcome to the College Basketball Experience. Friday, February the 2nd, Preview and Picks Edition. Oh, God, man. The bad beats have been fucking flowing. We're going to get into it. This fucking late window. Fucking brutal. This Big West Conference not treating me too well. But, move along. You take it on the chin. You move on. It's going to end up being another day in the loser for me. It's been a shit week. I need to get back to co-host rather than hosting. I need to pick Dundee back. I need some positive mojo, but long season. It's been a good January till this week. But if you wonder who you're listening to, I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. And you guys see him. No pick Dundee here tonight, so you guys know him. He's the LeBaron driving, sandbagging, window having, cocktail napkin using co-host of the College Baseball Experience, Noah B. What is up, my man?
What's going on, Mac? Fun day for me, at least. I think I'm going to come out positive, given that Oregon holds on to this large lead they have. It was good stuff. I mean, check out the Sports Gambling Podcast episode that we also did. If you want a sneak peek, look ahead in the Saturday slate. We also talked a couple of the Friday games that, the openers were a little bit different than the cocktail napkin had on the show. So that was fun. The cocktail napkin had the lines for the show. We'll see how many of those are accurate, but the first two from Friday were a bit inflated. I might Benedict a pick or two. We'll see.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, hey, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday's good. Saturday's slate is going to be fire. But yeah, I mean, if tonight was Thursday night's the hardest night, man. Thursday night and Monday night are always such a shit show. But we'll talk about it. But hey, third man in the box, we got another guest. Everybody that's in here every single night. You guys know him from the chat, know him from the Discord. He's a Green Bay Packer fan. He's a Green Bay Phoenix fan. You guys know him as Trevor, a.k.a. TVDBJ. What is going on, my man? How are you?
You're muted, buddy.
Damn, I do that. I'm bad habit. Yeah. It's great to be here. Great to be here. Yeah, I've been scrolling around in the chat and whatnot for a couple of years. Met Noah up at the Barstool Invitational this year, but good to be on the show finally. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, yes, sir. Sure. It has been a long time coming. And Noah, why don't you lead the way? Trevor, I know you had plenty of plays. Trevor actually posts his plays on like a certain somebody that we tracked his plays last night, and then he added 3 or 4 wins to his win total, and then claimed they were leans. So you got to decipher: is it a lean or is it a pick? I'll tell you, this is a pick. Go ahead, Noah.
Yeah, this was a tremendous pick by me. Great pick by you. Shout out to Chad G for the continuous AI fan art. He goes, this is what Mac envisions when he keeps picking the hospital. So shout out to Chad G. Just awesome work here. And yeah, I think that is what Mac envisions here. Because I mean, it's just an ATM fading Detroit, and he just keeps going back to the well. So
I had taken a couple games off. This was a good spot. They should have covered. I mean, it is what it is. Anybody that watched that game can't tell me Cleveland State was the right side. It was a 4-point game, fucking right there. And then they do what they do. They just folded at the end. So it is. Shout out to Detroit once again, teasing you. And you know what's the worst about them? They don't just get fucking drilled so that you just don't come back. Like they gotta tease you enough
for about 25 minutes.
They gotta tease you and not cover by like 1 or 2 points.
They flatline at some point. It could be early, could be late, but the flatline's coming in the hospital.
Sorry. I will say, if there is a spot, and tonight was a good spot. No, well, I'm talking about Robert Morris because if you remember the game at Robert Morris. They had the game won 3 different times, and they lost.
Everybody was tweeting that early that they were.
Everybody jinxed it. They should have won that game, and everybody was tweeting at me, "Is the hospital going to win?" I'm like, I don't know. They're up 8 with 2 minutes. That doesn't mean they're going to win.
Yeah, but I mean, we have our guest here, Trevor Vandenbosch Jones. I mean, he watches about as much Green Bay basketball as anybody else.
Yeah.
Did you catch any of this game? Your takeaway on the Phoenix, who could have been a little bit of a surprise. They're leading this horizon. Is that a surprise to you?
Absolutely not. Of course, no. It's a big surprise. This is Green Bay. They've never been a good program, but man, Sundance Wicks and Noah Reynolds have really turned this program around in the first year. I mean, they got nice additional pieces with Foster Wonders and Clarence Cummings, but man, they're hooping this year. I mean, I noticed they kind of start slow in the first half, but that second half they make adjustments and they suffocate you. And it's just what they've been doing all year.
Shout out to Tommy B. He says donating to the Gambling Gods for positive vibes in February. Thank you, Tommy B. We appreciate it for the 10 bones.
Hey, no, did I not call how this game was going to go too?
You called it pretty much on point, which is why I'm surprised you still bet Detroit. You enjoy the self-torture.
You mean ooey pooey?
Yeah, ooey pooey.
Yeah. Come on, don't mix up my 2 darlings. Ooey pooey. You knew they were gonna hang in there, but they can't hang in there just enough. I mean, they made every shot in the first half. As soon as it got to halftime, I was like, I don't know if they're gonna be able to hang on to this. So probably should have cashed out, but it was my smallest bet of the day. I mean, I think anybody that watched the show last night could sense I didn't have the greatest confidence in the pick when I said Green Bay would probably be up 14-15. They ended up being up 20. Dude, Green Bay just finds ways to win.
This entire time when we were recapping the game, I was thinking that Green Bay beat Detroit. That game feels like it was yesterday. That was at noon today. Binghamton wins 75-66 over NJIT. Mac, you picked this one on the show. We went separate ways. I had the Technology Institute there. A triple lock on the picks page. There was a double lock on the show last night. UMass Lowell wins by 14 over Maine, 76-62. This was a cover for us. Mac, any takeaways from this one?
I mean, this was sweaty. I mean, UMass Lowell was sloppy early, but they got across. I mean, they were coming off the loss, so good cover. I mean, it was nice to be on a kind of, I don't know if it was the right side, but I mean, I'll take a cover. I mean, there were plenty that went against me that I won't apologize for this one. Good cover, Lowell.
Yeah, we'll get to other AE games, but Trevor, any sort of opinions on the America East here? UMass Lowell, Vermont, Bryant, or I mean, did you catch any of this UMass Lowell Maine game here?
No, I was actually going to bet Maine, but I stayed away. But yeah, I mean, they handled business. I mean, they kind of got off to a slow start, but once they regained that lead, they never gave it back. So
yeah, App State, they win by 10 over Georgia State. And then we'll cover another loss from Mac on the locks from last night. High Point absolutely destroyed Longwood, 93-76. So NC Nick on the picks page wins a lock battle over you, as you had the Lancers locked here. Any takeaways from either one of these games? Kind of stumping losses here.
I was so impressed with High Point's crowd. I didn't expect that. I knew the game was a national TV game, but that place was on fucking fire. And you kind of look at Green Bay, you look at High Point, first-year head coaches, and those guys, I mean, Wicks and what's this? This is the guy that came over from Creighton, Huss. Yeah, I mean, those guys are just doing a great job in year number one. It'll be interesting to see how they try and maintain it, because we saw Bart Lundy at Milwaukee kind of do the same thing last year. But as of right now, I mean, those two guys are runaway, easy coaches of the year in their respective leagues.
For sure. Those two games, Trevor, did you have any bets, any action? Did you catch any of these? App State's 10-point win over Georgia State, High Point. Any takeaways on High Point's performance so far into February?
High Point's been rolling. I mean, they've been a machine all year, and they don't look to be slowing down at all. I mean, they jumped out up by 20 at halftime on Longwood and never looked back. So they just dominated front to start to finish there. And like Max said, that crowd was jumping. That place was electric tonight.
Oh, lit.
Yeah.
Oh, it was bumping.
Consider me just totally stumped or bamboozled on how UMBC put up 95 points against one of America East's best defenses here. As Bryant only wins by 4, I locked up the Bulldogs of Bryant, and this one did not go my way. It was a 99-95 victory for Bryant, though. They sneak out with a W. Another one that was large victory of margin that we didn't see coming. The airport was stormed today.
Holy fuck.
Louisiana Tech wins 93-53. Mac. This is a lock.
Yeah, me and Rob were talking about this because we both had it locked in. Honestly, it might be my worst pick in like 2 weeks. Because this never had a shot. I was shocked, dude. Louisiana Tech had been not proven on the road at all. I don't know, man. That was fucking pathetic. Great win, Louisiana Tech. I feel like we have to fade them next game. I mean, goddamn, they just won by fucking 50 on the road. You don't do that back-to-back games. So, FIU, fucking dumpster fire, fucking patheticness.
Trevor, Conference USA currently led by Louisiana Tech. Liberty kind of out of the picture. Not how a lot of people saw it coming into the season. Any thoughts on how Conference USA is starting to pan out here?
Not really. I honestly haven't gotten as much eyes as I probably should have on the Conference USA this year. I watched my Middle Tennessee at home, but I just happened to not be getting a lot on there on the eyes there this year. So I got no real input there, unfortunately.
One that I was instantly turning down, just saying too many points here. Oakland wins by 15 over Robert Morris, 87-72, and then another Horizon League final. Mac gets a lock through with Milwaukee. They went outright against Purdue Fort Wayne, 68-65. They're catching points, but no need for the points, right, Mac?
Yeah, I feel like every game I won tonight, it wasn't fun because Milwaukee dominated this game in the first half and then gave up and went down as many as 4. So good win, Milwaukee. We talked about it. Fort Wayne, they suck. I mean, they were so inflated in the non-con. So yeah, Vetta makes a good point. What the fuck happened to Fort Wayne? They fucking are such fool's gold. They're terrible.
Dude, I was calling them fool's gold when they were doing that. I was fading them game after game and losing money. I was like, okay, I got to just stop. But all of a sudden now they've come crashing back down to earth. Trevor, Horizon League right in your backyard, especially with Milwaukee. They're a team to me that seems like it's been an up and down roller coaster as well. I expected them to be a little bit better going into the season. Middle of the pack is right where they are. What's your takeaway on the Panthers right now?
They're hit or miss, but I was surprised that they were catching points to Fort Wayne. I mean, Fort Wayne entered conference play and they just turned back into a pumpkin. Yeah. I know me and Nick, CBB Nick in the chat, we were backing them in the non-con, and then they stole all our money back once conference play started again. So we've been off of them, but that line kind of stung. So I didn't play it, but I was surprised Milwaukee was catching points.
Mac, did you catch any of the back door in the Long Island Fair Dick game?
No, I'm glad because I would have been Fair Dick, and I'm getting a kick in the chat.
Fair Dick was up double digits here, and they were able to sneak in through the +7.5 back door. to cover it by 7. James Madison absolutely smashed Coastal Carolina as well. Covered that huge spread. Mac, you maniac, you locked this, so great call. And then
which
Georgia
game is
Southern,
that?
James Madison.
Oh yeah. No, this was last second. I was looking for one more, and I'm like, I was staring at James Madison. I'm like, they are so due for like one of those 40-point avalanches that we saw in the non-con. So I'm glad I added this because I had a shit night. So it was nice to get JMU on the right side. This never had a shot of not covering, like you said.
Georgia Southern, they lose by 21 at home against Troy. I didn't see that in the cards for Troy either. That was a little bit stunning as well. Campbell 69-67 over Elon.
I should have bet Campbell, man. I talked about it on the show, and I just couldn't pull the trigger.
Mac, the one time you pick against Old Dominion,
dude,
they went outright.
What the? Well, no. I picked against them the last game too, dude. Marshall lost to them by 25 the first time, so I'm like, all right, this is a revenge angle in Huntington. And they fucking lose outright? Are you fucking... And you know what's crazy? They got dominated in the first half. The Marshall went up, I think, 8 or 9. I'm like, all right, Marshall's going to be on the right side of this. I've seen ODU blow plenty of covers this year. And then ODU storms back and wins the game outright. What the fuck did this come from? Marshall, what the fuck? Fucking... Not the Thundering Herd, the Thundering fucking Turd. What a turd of a performance. You guys suck.
All right, here's a fire game that happened today. UNCW went on the road and they beat Charleston. This was a lock unity across the picks page, and it did not come through. Lost outright. Trevor, did you catch any of this game in the CAA? The Seahawks, they look like they are the top contender in the conference now.
Yeah, I'm really glad the only reason I laid off of betting Charleston today is because it was on fucking Flow Hoops and they're terrorists, so I wasn't going to bet a game I couldn't watch. But man, UNC, they showed up and they did the damn thing at Charleston in the 6th. Like that's very tough to do. Like Kelsey has that place rocking and rolling, and you would think after a revenge game, after they'd lost and got stormed on, that they would come through and finish it, but they got dominated in the second half.
Yeah. Mac, your thoughts from this game?
Yeah, Charleston controlled the game till about the 10-minute mark, and then you could just feel the Seahawks imposing their will. That's back-to-back times now. I've been on the wrong side of this game. I thought Charleston was a little bit better at home, so I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm going to do with Charleston. They've let me down back-to-back outright at home lately.
Yeah, my takeaway, at least on the UNCW side, is if they're able to get into the tournament, Trezarian White's a guy that can win them a game.
Yeah,
seriously. Like he played very well against Kentucky, and also well against Arkansas. And once again, I think he had 25 and 9 tonight. So shout out to him. Tulane, they got a double walk across. They only lose by 4 at SMU. Kind of exactly how we thought this game would play out. You know, SMU was due for a W, but it was just 9 was too many points last night.
I don't trust SMU. I'm not a fan. They're so up and down. They're like a little bit of Memphis, in my opinion. Do you agree with that, Trevor?
Yeah, they haven't been very good as of late. After they blew out Tulsa, I mean, good loss to North Texas, but Wichita they lose outright, and then you squeak by Tulane at home. I mean, they're trending in the wrong direction right now. Granted, you got the win, but should have been a much more dominating win at home against a Tulane team that doesn't care to play defense.
I pulled the trigger on the Chad G meme too early. This is where we get to talk about the Hospital losing against the spread at home against Cleveland State. Mac, your thoughts? Did you catch any of this game?
Yes, I watched the entire game.
Oh, man.
It was painful.
You do enjoy self-torture.
Yeah, they were the right side. It was fucking brutal. And the whole time I'm like, they're going to lose by 8. They're going to lose by 8. They're going to lose by 8. Would they lose by 10 in the end because they made free throws? 12. All right, well, they got blown out compared to how they usually lose against the spread. Fucking brutal, man. This team is so brutal. I'm telling you, you watch them like player roster wise, and they're not that bad. And you're like, how are they 0-22? It's not even I don't even know how it's possible they haven't won a game yet from a roster standpoint.
So, Trevor, since we're not really going to have, I don't know if we'll have you on the show come the time, but Cleveland State's next game is a very good one. They're at Oakland. Any thoughts on that game in general, or just the top of the horizon? You have Green Bay, Youngstown State, Oakland, all with 3 losses, and then there's another group with 5 losses that Cleveland State's in, along with Wright State and Northern Kentucky. There's a lot of parity in this league. It's very fun to watch, but in both of our backyards. Just kind of overall opinion on the Horizon League this year.
Yeah, the overall opinion is it's fun as hell this year. There's a lot of parity, and it's been a couple of good teams, but maybe I'm a little biased because Green Bay's rolling, but it's been fun. I think the conference tournament's gonna be electric. If Green Bay is hosting a game, I'll be up at the Rest Center for that game for the tournament time. But as for Oakland at home, they got Cleveland State at home. Oakland hasn't really been. I mean, granted, today they showed up and whooped Morris by 15, but they've been playing teams close at home for the most part all year. So yeah. I'll be interested to see how that one goes, especially with only 1 day of rest in between. So we'll see. But Cleveland State, they feeling a little better after beating Detroit Mercy.
Yeah.
Horizon League's fun, man.
It is. I've been saying it for a couple of years now. This year, it really is I think the epitome of kind of the league is at its best right now. The Red Flash almost fucked around and won the game outright at Central Connecticut State. Delaware
phonies. I hate that team.
Shout out to Colby for locking up the Blue Hens. Delaware wins 81-53 against the Tribe of William and Mary.
Shout out to me for not betting Bill and Mary. I almost did, and I go, no, I can't bet Bill and Mary. So real shout out to me.
Sacred Heart, they beat Stonehill here 77-72. Shout out to Stonehill, the only one that covered the famous hospital graveyard airport parlay here. Feel bad for Avetta, who gave that one out last night. And then this one was a fun one again in the CAA. Monmouth 67, Drexel 62. The Dog wins outright at home. Monmouth's just a cash cow, and they continue to be, Mac.
They really are. King Rice doing a good job. He's a good coach. His son's good. Make shots, Xander. So they may win their conference tournament. I mean, the CAA is wide open. I'm looking forward to that. The Horizon. I mean, the MAAC. We'll talk about the MAAC here in a little bit, but it's this shit's wide open, man. With some of these mid-major leagues, there's no really dominant team in some of these leagues at the mid-major level.
Yeah. So the top team in the Coastal Falls, Trevor, currently Drexel and Towson are tied with 2 losses in the conference. UNC Wilmington, Charleston with 3 losses, and then you find Monmouth and a couple other teams with 4 losses. This is another team or another conference, like Mac was saying, where there's not really a clear number one. I was talking about if UNCW is able to sneak in to the tournament, it would be a possible upset pick for me at least. Your thoughts on Monmouth getting the W against the top team in this conference so far, and just how you think this conference is going to shake out as we continue on?
Yeah, Monmouth. I know Xander Rice, they were down like 10. He went on a 14-0 run himself and put them up like 4 or 5 points. Like he can just do that where he can just turn it on. I know forget what game earlier in the year, but he went off for like 25 in the first half or something. Like he's just liable to snap. But like Max said, this conference is fun. I mean, it's really tight. Anybody's beating anybody in this league. I mean, they went to Kentucky one. They've beaten Charleston now twice. So it's going to be a fun league. The conference tournament's going to be great. And I think whoever wins has a legitimate chance of possibly upsetting someone in March.
Yeah. I ate shit with the next pick. North Carolina A&T, they only get the W by 1 over Hampton. This was kind of a rock fight all the way through. I also lost a lock with Hofstra. I feel terrible because, again, I labeled this one my favorite pick of the day. Honestly, I was pretty clear about it last night. I'm pretty transparent that I didn't really have one that I loved, but I think this is like 5 of the last 8 that I've given out on the show. My favorite pick is losing.
Don't you love that?
Yeah. like winning days today slightly positive. I think I'm 7-6 today, given that Oregon covers. And then Towson, they win 83-76 over Northeastern. On the picks page, somebody got a good number between me and Matt because we were both able to cover. Towson -6.5, Northeastern +7.5. The game finishes by a margin of 7.
Yeah, middle.
What was this line on the show last night?
I think 6.5, and I was saying fringe lock, and I thought about it all day, and I saw it go to 7.5, and I'm like, man, Northeastern, they're going to keep this close. And they were up double digits a majority of the game. That was the other part of it. But you give Towson credit, man. They got an 18-game win streak at home. So, yeah, congrats on our middle. I was glad that I was able to get the right. I'm glad I waited because it was a fringe lock for a reason. I said, check the picks page, and there it was.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game. I mean, Stephen F. Austin, they continue to win, but they don't win pretty. This is a 77-72 victory. MAAC locked up the Lumberjacks here. You're laughing and shaking your head.
Yeah, the referee needs to be the referee needs to be investigated for fucking betting on fucking Utah Valley because the game's over, 7 points. Stephen F gets the rebound. There's 3 seconds. They're fouling him. He calls it travel. So then what happens? Oh, inbound. Utah Valley, 3-point, bang, cover. And I just wanted to sink. And then you'll talk about Abilene Christian right after because, I mean, that's the next game on the slate that was back-to-back just gut punches if you had either side of those.
Abilene Christian's a little bit farther down the list, but sure, I'll get to your torture here. Tarleton, 76-73. They win outright as the dog. You locked up Abilene Christian -1.5 on the show last night.
Yeah, they were up 4 with a minute, and Tarleton hit a 3 to force overtime, and they collapsed in overtime. So just watching those two side by side, it was fun. Chad G was on both of them, and he's still bitter about taking Cincinnati, Kansas, and Texas and Morgantown. So that's why he's taking his WU shots right now. So,
Trevor, so Tarleton State, a little bit of a surprise in the WAC as well. They're tied for second right now, 7-3 in the conference. Stephen F. Austin, I think, has not been as impressive as I thought they would have been coming into the season. They're 6-4. They're in 4th in the conference right now. Is this Grand Canyon's conference to lose currently with only 1 loss?
Man, I think so. But I mean, we saw what Grand Canyon did today. They blew a 15-point lead at home against Seattle. I mean, Seattle's a good team, but man, you were up 15 at home in a revenge spot and you forced overtime. They ended up winning, but they didn't cover. But yeah, I still feel like it's Grand Canyon. They're too deep. They got too many good players. And I think they could actually catch someone in March too, maybe a game or two also. Like they've got it all. But Scott Drew's brother, Bryce Drew, is a damn good coach too. But yeah, Stephen F., they can't cover a game. They've covered 1 game this year.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Mac, any thoughts on the Grand Canyon game?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was on Grand Canyon too. So, I mean, my WAC night was god awful. It was bullshit. I should have won all 3, but you walk away 0-3 from those. It was, yeah, man, Grand Canyon. I don't know what happened to them down the stretch here. It was they were up 15, control the game. Crowd was lit per usual there. But they couldn't get a stop. They could not get a defensive stop to save their life, and Seattle almost won the game outright.
I'm willing to agree with Rob Donaldson here. He says Grand Canyon is the Charleston of last year. You know, I've watched this Grand Canyon team a couple of times this season. They passed the eye test, but a lot of the wins also, we were just talking about this today, they almost give it up. I felt like Charleston was playing with fire at times during January and February last year as well. People were making some cases on why to leave them out of the tournament as an at-large, but still with a couple of good wins on this resume. Grand Canyon owns a home win over San Diego State, and they still have a pretty clean resume overall. I could agree with that, Grand Canyon being this year's Charleston. We'll get to more of the action from tonight, but first, let me talk to you guys about SGPN's Patreon. The guys just dropped this month's bonus episode, behind-the-scenes breakdown of Sean's $200,000 win. This week's Patreon Pick'em prize is a free $250 Super Bowl square, plus access to all the picks, sheets, and exclusive channels on Discord. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. And then also, shout out to Underdog Fantasy. They do great work, but the Friday slate of college basketball, at least in the Michigan area, was not released yet. But Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long. NFL, NBA, NHL, college basketball, and college football. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite players' fantasy stats and cash in. You can win up to 100x with some spicy plays. So watch along, make some picks, and maybe make a little bit of cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up, use promo code SGPN. Sorry, damn, I butchered that last line. When you sign up, use the promo code TCESGPN. Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code TCESGPN. Didn't even display the ad on YouTube. But we move on. The next game on the slate, or at least in the order that I'm reading off of the picks page here, Bellarmine gets a nice W at Kennesaw State here, 96-95.
Why did I not bet it?
And then another one of our darlings here got a home W, 94-76 blowout victory as a dog. Queens wins over Eastern Kentucky. Mac, two of our darlings, they went out right as dogs. Any takeaways from these games? Did you catch either of them?
I watched a little bit of Bellarmine. You know me, I like watching Bellarmine basketball. Coaching matters this time of year, and Bellarmine's got a good coach, and Davenport, and I like Queens. They're well coached too. So EKU, I'm glad I didn't bet them. I almost pulled the trigger, but you were right in terms of they were at the ultimate high point. They had won 6-7 in a row. They were due for a dud, and that's what happened.
Yeah, I liked EKU, but when Queens plays at home, it feels like they're live in any game. Yeah. Trevor, have you kind of been? I know you're in the chat most nights. Bellarmine and Queens, we kind of just have running skits on both teams, but both of them were moneymakers last season. Have you paid attention to either one? Did you catch either of these games, or did you follow along at least?
I box scored, followed along with the Bellarmine game. I kind of started to lay off of them. It felt like we were chasing a lot of last year's vibes with them. They've been stealing some money, so I've been laying off. But yeah, they hung in this entire game with Kennesaw. I kind of figured it might be a little bit of a runaway spot, but they hung in. They even got it done in overtime there. And then Queens, their backcourt is electric. They're averaging like 30 points a game. Between Albury and McKee, 16.6, 17.8, with about 10 boards between the two of them, and they're controlling games, and they showed up tonight and just dominated.
100%. Mac, is chasing the definition of the St. Thomas play from last night at Omaha? Shout out to Jeff Sharp, who was in this game this game in person. He commented in the YouTube chat today.
Yeah, no, he sent me a tweet. Good win for Omaha. I thought the Tommies were the better team, and I liked the spot for them, but the Omaha was a better team tonight. I mean, I thought Omaha controlled, like you said, the game. It was my first time I had taken the Tommies on the road since that Western Michigan game where me and Colby Locke battled, and I was up 30 at the halftime. So probably won't take the Tommies to get on the road.
Yeah, we'll get to some other Summit League games here coming up, and I'll go to you, Trevor. Weber State 72-70 over Northern Arizona. I was able to get the cover on NAU. You locked up Weber, Mac. Anything on this one at all?
Yeah, this is another one that just fucking folded. What were they up 10 at half?
I think so.
Yeah, they completely botched that second half. They're not as good as they've been in the past. They just watching them more and more. They're not as disciplined as they've been. So disappointing, man. Disappointing that we weren't able to get this one done.
All right, here's where the other Summit League games come into play. The Kangaroos just stomp all over Denver, 85-71 victory for UMKC, and also North Dakota State. They win outright on the road at South Dakota State, 74-73. MAAC locked up the Bison plus 9.5 here. We talked about it last night that, the Jackrabbits just didn't seem like they were as good as they have been in the past.
Yeah.
I wasn't willing to come with you, though, and lock against them in their home building.
Sprinkle some on the money line, baby.
Yes. It turns out they lose it outright, Mac.
Yeah, this is a rivalry, and South Dakota State's not South Dakota State this year. It's a brand name, like you said, and the Bison have been struggling, but, they're not that much worse than the Jackrabbits. So, good win for the Bison here.
Yeah, and Trevor, this is where I'm going to turn to you. We just saw, the top team in the Summit fall. Now South Dakota State has 3 losses. They're tied with North Dakota in the standings. And then everybody else in the standings got 4 losses except for South Dakota, who's just kind of a bottom feeder right now. In your opinion, is there 1 or 2 teams in the Summit League that kind of stand out from the rest?
Well, you kind of got to go with Denver a little bit just because of Tommy Bruner. That guy, he's liable for 30 any night. He's electric, but this whole Summit League is just crammed up. The leader's 5-3, and then you got bottom of second last was at 7th. North Dakota State's 3-4. This league is parity in itself. So, if I had to choose a team, Denver, just because they got the guard and Bruner can just erupt at any night and take over a game.
Mac, this is a fun question. Do you have a take? It's February 2nd. Happy Groundhog Day to everybody. At this point in the season, I think this is a great spot to, take a look at conference races because you can start to handicap the schedules that they have left and who's getting tough opponents to finish off the season, who's got an easier schedule. Obviously, we're not looking at that in these little short time capsules, but is there a team or 2 in the Summit League that stand out to you?
Great question. This is
because to me, I still think it's St. Thomas and Denver, my 2 teams, just because they're my 2 teams. But those 2 teams, when they're at home, I can rely on them to win their home games.
Oral Roberts, like you said, is down. Looking at it right now, like you said, we got a bunch of 5-3s, 5-4s, 4-4s. I probably would still lean to the Jackrabbits and Tommies. If you really want to take a dark horse, maybe Omaha.
I would just say, I would be overall pretty disappointed if we get a Summit League that finally has some parity and it's not just South Dakota State or Oral Roberts and I'd still love the Jackrabbits and the Golden Eagles, one of them. I'd be kind of
Omaha UMKC final.
Omaha.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be great.
Fun. I think everybody would if you got the Kangaroos into the NCAA tournament, that would be like the Peacocks from 2 seasons ago. They'd be like, what the fuck is this nickname? Did they just invent this? That I think that would be the kind of vibe. If
they would, they would definitely play Kansas. They would definitely They would definitely play the Jags
or Rose.
Yeah.
First off, they would get in the play-in game, but they win it. Then
they'd win it. They're a Summit League team. They always win those playing games.
Yeah. Northern Colorado 91-86 victory over Idaho State. The Bengals covered this. Northern Colorado, fluctuated between the spread for most of it, and then played the foul. Idaho State played the foul game. They were able to come inside the number here. North Dakota just destroyed South Dakota today. The North Dakota schools proved better than the South, I guess. 95-81 victory for the Fighting Hawks. MAAC locked up Texas State, and they win 74-66 over South Alabama.
They were due, man. They were so due.
What'd you say, Trevor?
I was on South Alabama.
Yeah, Trevor was on South Alabama. South Alabama, man, they're so hard to figure out.
Yeah, they were in that game. they were down 4 at half, and the only reason they're down 4 is because they got the time confused and whipped up a bad shot, and South Dakota or whoever got the 3-point ball. But yeah, they were up in the second half, and then they just kind of collapsed late, but they were trading buckets. They were getting the buckets, but they couldn't get the stops. And I'm drawing a blank on who they were playing, but they missed about 5 or 6 free throws the final 2 minutes, 3 minutes of that game. Like, they were giving South Alabama the game and no dice. But South Alabama's coach's wife, I think, had a medical emergency today too. So when I saw that, I thought there was a little bit of tragic magic brewing for South Alabama as well, but no dice on that one.
I missed that on my timeline. Thoughts and prayers to her for sure. Morehead State wins 68-49 at Tennessee State. Mac, anything to say on this one, or is this one just kind of a no-show from the Tigers at home?
Terrible pick by me. Morehead was better than Lesshead tonight, so hopefully everybody got some Morehead tonight.
We move on from a bad pick, though, like where team didn't really show up, to a pick where it was like this one seemed like too obvious. This was like a stinky line, but then again, like square enough so that way we could bet it. I mean, it was locks across the picks page from those that have been betting every single game. Western Illinois wins 79-71 at Lindenwood in the penitentiary. Mac, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't watch this game.
I watched the last 5 minutes, unfortunately.
Did you have any takeaways?
It was painful, man. It was painful. Good win for us, though. Not something I want to freaking celebrate, though.
So, I mean, we're talking OVC. We just talked about the 2 top teams in this conference, Trevor. Morehead State, Western Illinois. Is there another team that you think could give those two, a run for their money in this competition, or is it just kind of a 2-head race as we get into the conference tournament where that thing is stacked and favoring the top 2 seeds come tournament time?
Yeah, I mean, Morehead they just keep delivering every night. I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving with them. I mean, Western Illinois has been solid, but Morehead, I mean, they're rocking and rolling. They're playing both ends of the floor. They're controlling the tempo of the game. I mean, SIU Edwardsville was beat Little Cock tonight, but they kind of struggled with that one. That was a tight game all the way through. But yeah, I think Morehead and it's probably their conference to lose, in my opinion. I know Western Illinois is pretty good, but I mean, they're playing both ends of the floor and control the tempo of every game. So assuming they don't shoot 30%, they should be able to win these games, I believe.
Yeah. We move on to another smelly line. UT Arlington goes on the road and they get the victory. They were, for some reason, catching a point last night on the show. And Mac, kudos to you for locking it up. They win 76-68 against Southern Utah here.
Yeah, and I talked about UT Arlington. Like, I've been backing them the last couple of weeks. They're better than the record. Like, they pass the eye test. So another team, maybe if they're catching numbers, keep taking them.
Yeah. UT Martin, 76. Eastern Illinois, 59. We can move past this one, but this one was kind of stumping Mac last night. He was like, wasn't the handicap kind of like, yeah, you won big on the road the first game?
it was quick. It was quick. It wasn't, let's dive into this shit.
Yeah. Shout out to Colby for hitting a lock on Florida Gulf Coast as they won 82-59 at Central Arkansas. Arizona, 91-65 victory over Cal. I was on the Wildcats. You locked up the Golden Bears last night, Mac. Did you catch any of this one? Did you turn it off at some point?
Yeah,
the Wildcats kind of ran away with it.
Yeah, I felt like the Utah game when I've been fading Arizona, but it reminded me of that Utah game when I had Utah and Arizona just couldn't miss. I was like, all right, well, this game's fucking over. Arizona looked back to being Arizona a little bit. So yeah, I mean, that was good win, Arizona.
Trevor, did you watch any of this Cal Arizona game here?
I did not, but that line was kind of felt too good to be true with Cal. But I was so tempted to pull the trigger with Tyson and Cohen. I was like, they could, they did this before, they could do it again. But man, the Arizona at home is not to be fucked with. They run it up on teams. They put it on you.
Yeah. Now let's. I couldn't wait to talk about this one because this was maybe the most fun game that I had watching tonight. Wisconsin led at some point. I think it was 27-7. In this game, the first 5 minutes into it, it was Cornhuskers across the board. I was too pussy to lock it here. But Northwestern comes back. They were down 16 at half. They come back. They force overtime. They win 80-72. Shout out to NC Nick and Mac, who locked up the Huskers in the look-ahead spot for Wisconsin as Purdue is on deck. But Mac, this one was kind of nuts. Take me through it.
Yeah, and it was my workout play of the day, so I got a little workout, talking a little Big Red Machine, baby. That was a great win for them. They were dog shit in the first half. I'll be honest, I didn't see the first 5-6 minutes because I was finishing up the 7 minutes or the 7 o'clock games and turn it on, and they're down 21-8 already. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, this is how this night's gonna go. Their starters didn't do shit, and I mean, everybody's killing me for fucking saying Tominaga's good. Tominaga is still good, but Tominaga didn't have a good night. It was Wilcher off the bench. It was Gary. Their bench really won this game for them, and they made some crazy shit. That is a hard building to win at. And shout out to them for storming the court. Wisconsin is going to beat Purdue on Sunday, though.
Trevor, did you catch any of this one? Wisco, the top 10 team, losing on the road. It's been happening a lot this season.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I think I saw something like I don't know if it was top 10 or top 25 road percentage win is like 40% this year compared to normal. It's down. So I mean, teams are getting got everywhere, but unfortunately I did watch this game. I had a weird feeling in my stomach when they were up so big. I was like, man, Nebraska at home doesn't get blown out, and they damn sure made it interesting and forced overtime and killed us. I mean, they were shit. Wisconsin was up 23-8 at one point, and then they kept them with outside of double digits, and Welcher came in second half, and he lit fire and he couldn't miss. He was coming off of screens with a hand in his face, splashing them. So I'm glad we got the loss out of the way though, because Purdue is going down. I'm with you, Mac.
Oh yeah, boiler down.
I hate the fact I was watching this game for my underdog fantasy pick'em play that I gave out online on sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Max Klesmit covered the stat combo in overtime. That was a dagger. So thank you, Nebraska, for not winning that game in regulation, or Wisconsin for that matter. SIU Edwardsville, they win 68-66 against Little Rock. Southern Indiana, they win 74-71 on the road against Tennessee Tech. This was just an all-time dud for myself as I locked the Golden Eagles here against USI. North Alabama wins 79-72 at home against Stetson. Did you catch any of these three games that I just rattled off? Do you want to talk about your boy Pujol with the UNA squad?
Yeah, it was a good win. I'm pissed I didn't pull the trigger on Southern Indiana. That line was telling us Southern Indiana was going to win.
Yeah, and I walked into it. Youngstown State goes into Dayton, Ohio, and wrecked the Wright State today, 88-77. Trevor, this is kind of unprecedented territory. God, I can't speak. Hopefully you understood that. But for the Raiders, who have kind of been stalwarts in this league, to lose at home like this is not something that we've seen all the time. Your thoughts?
No, yeah, you're right. They generally are pretty good at holding down home court, but I mean they've kind of been a little suspect at times this year. Flaring out late in the second half and whatnot. But Youngstown, I know they were without their center, Gabe Dines, I believe. They were without him again. There was rumors he might come back, but it didn't matter. They were fighting with him. It was tight early in the first half, and then second half, Wright State just kind of fell the pressure of Youngstown, and they were making shots, and it was a bucket fest. I'm not gonna lie, this game was fun as hell to watch because I think there was about 102 points in the first half. It was electric to watch, but yeah, weird spot for Wright State to be losing at home. So I'm expecting their next game to be a crush.
Mac, you locked the Raider gang. Yeah, they called them your Raider. You called them your Raiders last night.
They have
that.
And they've let kill me down time and time again.
You latch your heart to them, and then
I love Wright State, man. But I mean, great win, Jared Calhoun, man. The job he's doing at Youngstown. I kind of think they're the best team in the horizon if you made me pick. I know Green Bay's in first, but if I had to choose who's going to win it, I would say Youngstown.
Yeah, I mean, they have a great home court advantage as well. To answer Greg Massler, Greg Massler in the YouTube chat, he asks Noah, do they have Texacos in Michigan? No, I got this shirt when I was in my mullet phase, when I had a mullet. So that's the only time, I bought this or was interested in buying something like this. UTEP 79-71 over Jacksonville State. Grand Canyon 95-88 over Seattle. MAAC. The Lobes missed the cover. We talked about that one already. I was trying to double up your locks on the picks page. It didn't mark it as a loss, so I apologize. But
it's not.
Yeah, we already talked about the Lobes. UTEP.
They get the cover. Hey, I lost
that.
I didn't bet that. That was a lean. What are you talking about? I didn't bet that. UTEP
gets the cover for you. They beat the Gamecocks at home. How about this one? Because they tink their way to a cover.
Dude, they're good at home. They're good at home, and mentioned it that they're good at home. And Dixie State's the next game. I would imagine they're good at home too. I like playing these teams that are awful on the road and then they come back home. So UTEP, they tried to give it away late. Todd Golden, they're what, 3-4 now in Conference USA. So got to get it going. That league is wide the fuck open, by the way.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Dixie State, aka Utah Tech, they win by 17 at home against the Mexicans. Colby locked up UT Rio Grande. Yeah. Shout out to your lock battle victory over Mr. Dant, Mr. Pick Dundee himself. Something that you and him both locked here was Eastern Washington, who went into Bozeman and lost. We were talking about this one last night.
I know. This was an added one. This was stupid. I saw Colby did it. And I'm like, it's system play till they lose, and they did lose. If this was going to be one of the spots they lost, it was tonight. So stupid pick. I should not have chased on that one. I saw Colby. Honestly, I'm going to blame it on Colby. I saw Colby lock it, and I can hear his voice saying system play, so I added it late.
Montana needed that stay in the Big Sky race, so that was a big win for them.
Yeah, I was just about to talk about Montana. They stay alive. They got a victory over Idaho. Colby locked up my Vandals plus 14.5. So shout out to Pick Dundee. The Grizz, they win 73-70. And they stay in this race. They have 3 losses. They're tied for third in the conference with their in-state rival Montana State. Northern Colorado in second. Eastern Washington in first. Trevor, I'm going to turn to you again. We've been kind of rolling with Eastern Washington. Rob's pretty high on the Northern Colorado Bears here. Do you kind of have a darling in the Big Sky that you'd like to put the people on?
I don't really have a darling. I've been riding with you guys for Eastern Washington. I mean, they've been a wagon, and I mean, imagine if they still had Steel Venters this year. This team would be electric. So I'm still riding with them. I mean, they were due a loss. Just get it out of the way. So here comes the rolling. They got a big Montana game on deck also. So they need to pick that one up. But other than that, it looks like somewhat smooth sailing till the end of the season.
Mac, this game was a topic on the pre-show conversation. Stanford wins outright at Arizona State. You seemed like you were pretty entertained after watching this one. Tell the people what happened here.
Arizona State did Arizona State shit. I mean, they puked all over themselves down the stretch. I mean, what? So I said they were going to lose 8 in a row. They've lost now, 6 out of 7? I've almost called exactly what was going to happen with this team. Front runners, they're done. They it's Bobby Hurley. They got so many different personalities in that locker room where they're not going to mesh. They're not going to battle adversity. If it was going good, they have enough talent. But hug that tree. Tree huggers are 6-4 in the Pac-12, man.
TVDBJ, your opinions on the Trees and Sun Devils are what?
I had Stanford as well, so it was a little bit of a rocky second half up and down, but we came through. Shout out Michael Jones for shooting 5-of-7 from 3, though. Kept us in that game. So, Stanford is kind of an infuriating team. I mean, you can't really get a read on them half the time. I mean, they'll go to they'll beat Utah, then they're going to lose to Cal on the road. I mean, granted, Cal can catch teams at home, but still, they're up and down. I mean, Oregon State to overtime and losing to USC, so they're up and down. But I'm kind of addicted to betting on them. I have been for a while. People are kind of down on them all the time, and they can hoop or they can fucking shit the bed like they do. So it's a matter of catching them in the right spot. And I don't with MAAC. I think Arizona State was due to regress back to Arizona State at some point, and tonight was the night.
The talk of the town tonight is that you don't bring the fight to New Mexico State. New Mexico State brings the fight to you.
Well, dust up.
Yeah, we can't show it because it's like literally right from the broadcast, but I think everybody in the college basketball Twitter space has seen this at some point. There's a Liberty player that kind of throws a little bit of an elbow into the gut of a New Mexico State player, who then just whips around and gives him a knuckle sandwich. Put him on the deck, looking at the lights. That's my takeaway from the. I'm just kidding. They were catching points. They win this thing outright. Mac and I had like the exact fucking handicap of New Mexico State when they play at home.
And to back them.
And I don't know what's going on with Liberty.
They're stapled to the floor, as Colby would say. It's a step up. I mean, they played in the Atlantic Sun. Now they're in the Conference USA, and these other teams have athletes, and it's bothered them.
At the same time, like New Mexico State, they put this team together with pieces and glue.
But you just look at
a team that Liberty should lose to on paper. It's a great environment at home for New Mexico State, but
tough look for the Flames. I don't like Liberty's approach right now from recruiting in terms of like they're trying to build their a Sun team in the Conference USA. There's more athletes. Jack State's athletic. Freaking UTEP is athletic. Sam Houston's athletic. Obviously, New Mexico State, Western Kentucky. They're going to struggle night in and night out with this roster that they have.
Yeah, this was an interesting final as the Aggies win 79-73 over the Flamin' Libs. Trevor, did you catch any of this game? Your thoughts on kind of the free fall for the Flames, or maybe on the positive side, the Aggies jump up and get a W?
Yeah, no, I actually wasn't watching this game, and then I saw that clip of the old right hook to the jaw, and I was like, I got to tune into this. This is going to get chippy. Oh, yeah, a little dust up. It was beautiful. We needed one every year. We got it this year. So shout out New Mexico State or whoever the hell threw that. But, no, I kind of just had it on in the background. And, yeah, I mean, Liberty hung in, but, New Mexico got it done at home. Guns up. They were gonna be denied a loss after that old dust up. Can't lose on a home court after that.
No.
Yeah. Another one of the new teams in the Conference USA that has been performing quite well. Sam Houston goes on the road. They knock off Western Kentucky. This was a triple lock on the picks page. And you and Colby Mack locked this one up. The Tops lose at home in stunning fashion against the Bearcats.
And I think it's the first home loss under Steve Lutz's era. So, I mean, it was disappointing. But they blew this game. They were up 12 in the second half, and it kind of reminded me of what Abilene Christian, Stephen F. Austin, Weber. A lot of my losses tonight where it felt like they were in control of the game, but they just collapsed.
What number did you get on Cal Poly?
A half a point less than where it landed. This probably is the worst loss of the night. Irvine did not cover this game the entire way. And then they hit a three in front of their bench with 10 seconds.
So you got the plus 13.5 on the Cal Poly Mustangs.
Yeah.
Irvine wins it by 14, 73-59.
Sorry if anybody told me.
I'm refreshing
It was the right side.
I'm refreshing.
Looking at this graph.
Some more of these.
It was brutal.
Go ahead.
I'm looking at this graph on covers from this game, and yeah, it's all Cal Poly until the last 10 seconds, and it just drifts over that top. That's brutal.
It was brutal.
It's fun though. It makes for good content on the show.
No, it's not. It's fun for fucking you, jackass.
Do you want
not me?
Do you want to talk about Bakersfield against Long Beach?
Yeah, Long Beach State blows his 7-point lead with 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Good God. Oh my God. I mean, watching those two side by side, and then we'll talk about Pacific here in a minute too. Pacific led the entire game. They led the entire game.
Bakersfield beat the Beach 82-76. They covered that one. They were catching a couple of points there. I ate shit with Fullerton. Hawaii came out like a house of fire, and they kept the lead against the Titans here. MAAC, shout out to you. You had the Rainbow Warriors. You had the lock battle here. Your takeaways from this game?
Yeah, this was weird in terms of Fullerton just kind of completely no-showing. That I didn't see that coming.
A little frustrating on my part. Last Big West final of the night, I believe. UC San Diego wins 83-62. They cover the numbers 9.5 when we picked it on the show last night. I was on the Tritons. Mac was on the Matadors, but we both established that this game just smelled like shit. Neither one of us locked it. And now I'm going to turn over to Trevor here. Both UC Irvine and UC San Diego are 9-1 in conference. When do they play each other again? UC Irvine owns a victory over San Diego. UC Irvine and UC San Diego play again on February 24th. But currently it's a 2-team race. UC Davis has 2 losses in conference, and the next team has 4. So the Big West, I think, is very competitive. Colby's been talking about it as a very fun league so far this season. Your thoughts as a whole on the Big West Conference here?
I love the Big West. As a guy who's kind of like, I don't go to bed till 2:30 in the morning. So I love the Hawaii midnight tips. It's electric, but yeah, no, the Big West is really running through Irvine and San Diego this year. Davis has been competitive. I mean, Elijah Pepper's electric. Santa Barbara it was Hawaii on a down year, but they bullied the shit out of them on their home floor and dominated. But then they come back tonight and they get bullied on their home floor. So
yeah,
it kind of feels just like a top heavy league. Davis is in there. You could pepper him in there, but yeah, it feels more like an Irvine or San Diego finish here for this conference.
Yeah. So Mac, now do you want to complain about Pacific? Because this would be the time. Portland wins 65-60 in the Bay.
Yeah, I mean, Pacific led basically the entire game, and then they're down 5 with 5 seconds, and then they're catching 2.5, and they choose to take the layup. So got to extend the game, I guess. Unbelievable. Those 3 in a row at the end, I was like, oh my God, get the fuck out of here. So
there was another one too. I don't know if you're counting this one as 3 in a row, but UCLA, they win by 8. Bastards. You had 8.5.
Yeah, I know. I got the CLV, baby. It closed at 10.5, and they win by 8.
Damn, I was sitting on 10.5, but that whole game was ugly.
Yeah, Trevor, you had the Bruins as a bet as well. You were kind of score watching it as we began to go live. So I don't expect you to have any takeaways, but if you do, go ahead.
I don't know. This kind of felt like a UCLA just smash game. I mean, Oregon State coming in feeling hot after 2 wins, and UCLA playing good ball. Now they're going to offer up 10.5 points. At the time, 10.5 points with Oregon State kind of felt a little trappy. So I hopped in on UCLA, and second half they had a chance to pull away, but they fucked up. They're fouling, and all of a sudden 2 points led into 7, and Oregon State was back in the game. So chance late to cover this. I saw they fouled on a layup or something and gave them extra chance. But
Mr. Free
real quick, let me get my camera out. I had to get a picture of Mac and TMZ as Oregon covers the -1.5 here. The Ducks win 78-69. I jump off of my USC bandwagon. You jump on it. And then I let you drown with it. I let you spill out like the Oklahoma Sooners bandwagon did.
God.
How about this one?
I tried one game. I said, I haven't taken USC all year. Let's go one game on them. Bill Walton's announcing. They always get up for Oregon. They just suck. They don't play together. They're a bad basketball team. Good win, Oregon. I know USC sucks, but go on the road, get a good win. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the final 2 games. They're at least the picks page hasn't.
Fucking LA schools killed me at the end too, man.
They're both currently live. I'm gonna get you guys the score.
Should have had a winning night, but the fucking stupid West Coast fucking sucks. West Coast.
They have gone final. San Francisco wins by 16 against San Diego, and UC Davis wins 79-69 over Santa Barbara. So, I'll give you guys a heads up. Look for your game balls, TVDBJ. That way we don't catch you a little bit off guard. I'll read our second time of ads here real quick, and then we'll get to the game balls. The college basketball experience is brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. P2B social betting is a new and better way to bet. Bet directly against your friends or other users on sports, politics, pop culture, and other events with verifiable outcomes, plus tons of fun social features that give it the feel of a betting social network. Cut offers lower VIG and fully customizable odds. Create your own bets. Cut handles the payment side of things, so you never have to chase anyone down for money. And the social features equal like group chats, betting leaderboards, head-to-head history, user profiles, fan groups, and more. And then plus, as rewards, you can get cash back every single time you bet against your friends or other users. Cut also allows you to list almost any kind of bet. Perfect for getting action on those fun Super Bowl prop bets. Like I said, the example last night that I used was how many times does Taylor Swift appear on the Super Bowl broadcast? You could do something like that. And Cut is the peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based, available in 40 states. Head over to cut.com, that's KUTT.com, and use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay idea into the Hall of Fame Bets Revolutionary Parlay Optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by leg, as well as an expected probability for the entire parlay. Sort all players by hit rate or for any bet to learn which players are hot and which picks have value. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching Hall of Fame bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com and use promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame bets. All right, game balls. Let's talk about it here. Trevor, you're the guest. We'll have you go first here. Your first game ball of the Thursday slate.
I'm going to have to go with UNC Wilmington. Going into Charleston, into the 6, and getting into a revenge spot for them, and you get the dub by 6 points on their home floor. Pretty damn good win for them in the CAA.
Yes, it is. Mac, you're up next.
I got a hell of a workout in today, and, I was talking about a little go big red, so a great 20-point comeback win. That was big time. I mean, back-to-back years, too. They came back from 18 down last year. Now they come back from 19. I don't know if Wisconsin added to 20, but yeah, give me Nebraska game ball easy.
I'm going to give it to the Flightless Birds. They won 88-77 in the Nutter Butter Center against Wright State. Anytime you go in there and you win by double digits, I think it's deserving. Trevor, you're up next for your second and final game ball.
I'm going to have to go with Montana State. Granted, it's a home game, but you took down Eastern Washington, keeping yourself in that Big Sky race. So big win for Montana State tonight.
Mac, how about yourself for your second and final?
Let's go with the Penguins going into Wright State.
I just gave that up.
Yeah, you talked about the Nutter Center. I didn't hear who you were talking about. I was like, who the hell's the Nutter Center?
The Nutter Butter Center.
Nutter Butter Center. That's all I heard.
James, by the way, while you look for your second game ball, James Saunders is calling you out for only working out for 7 minutes while you're giving out your pick in your video.
Nah, 70. It takes about 7 minutes to fucking edit the fucking shit. I'm not as efficient as Noah on the fucking interwebs. But
I don't wake up early enough to put it out. Enough,
so I got to do it myself. Come on, throw me a fucking bone, everybody. Sweat out all these fucking vodkas, whiskeys, and cold beers. Let's go. Who do we want to go? Let's go Tree Huggers, man. That was a good win because they were beat tonight. I was like, oh fuck, the Tree Huggers are gonna give away, but Tree Huggers go to Tempe, get a big road win. They get a game ball from me. I'm
gonna give it to the team that won a slugfest, literally and figuratively. God damn it, I can't talk. They won a slugfest, literally and figuratively today. New Mexico State. They win against Liberty at home. Shout out to the guy that took over college basketball Twitter tonight. Now let's get to the fun part. Let's start picking some games, Mac.
All righty. Are we breaking this up, by the way?
No.
All right, so we'll get right into it. This is the unofficial B-side where we get loose and pick some winners. All right, February 2nd, Friday.
The TMZ part.
TMZ. Everybody's fucking, there you go, comment section, comments, whatever. We got a slate on Friday of 15 games, of course.
I got cocktail numbers on every game, by the way, that I'll just be reading out because why not? Not many games.
All right. Well, I don't know if I want to lock this. Kent State is going to Buffalo, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. Kent State and fucking Buffalo have been a pain in my ass this year. Kent State is on the road laying. I'm seeing 8 right now. We got a little action Friday night. I think we take a home dog here. I'll take Buffalo.
I'm on Buffalo too with no conviction. I mean, Kent State just hasn't looked pretty lately. Straight up, they are 2-7 in their last 9 games. And granted, those are all MAAC games. So I don't know what's going on with Golden Flashes this season, but I think it's an okay spot for Buffalo. So give me the Blue Bulls.
Yeah, I'm no way I'm picking this game, but I kind of lean Kent State in this one. Buffalo at home, I mean, they're coming off of a 29-point drilling by Ball State. Miami, Ohio got them by 21. They hung with Western Michigan, but Kent State's dog shit, but they can at least force turnovers, and Buffalo loves to give you the ball. So I lean Kent State, but I'm not playing this game whatsoever.
For what it's worth, the cocktail napkin, it has this one Buffalo plus 4.5. So,
why aren't you betting that?
That's 2 possessions of value.
Only one.
What is the point of that napkin?
It's 8. Dude, I'm not betting Buffalo.
Why not? I bet Buffalo and Butler. They almost won the game fucking outright. All right, I'll take you to a lock here.
I got no interest in that game. All right, take me to a lock.
Let's go to the Ivy League, where we got the big red chewing gum. Cornell is going to Dartmouth. Cornell is undefeated in Ivy League. Cornell is off the Princeton win. They got Harvard on deck on the road. Give me Dartmouth catching 10.5. I don't think they're going to win the game, but an Ivy League catching double digits off Cornell's biggest win of the year. They had Princeton scheduled. Give me Dartmouth. Lock it up in the points.
Yeah. Go for it. No, my bad.
No, Trevor, you go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not joking with you either. Go ahead.
All right. I just kind of lean Dartmouth just because of the look ahead thing. I mean, this line's just, it feels too easy for Cornell. I mean, Dartmouth is absolute dog and they can't hang onto the ball and it's ugly. So I lean Dartmouth, but I am not putting my hard-earned money on Dartmouth.
I'm log battling Mac here. I'm taking
Cornell. You lost your mind.
Dude, Dartmouth can't keep a game within double digits. Cocktail Napkins got this thing minus 18 as well. Trevor mentioned it. This team's ugly just to watch in general. Harvard's not as much of a look-ahead spot as it once was. I mean, Malik Mack is back, but, I mean, still the team really hasn't kind of put it together. I don't think you're looking past Dartmouth to get to Harvard right now. I think you're looking past Dartmouth to get to, Princeton or Yale, but not Harvard. So give me Cornell. I'm locking it up here. I think they smash.
Give me Kent State in the first game now that I know the napkin's numbered. Hey, you got a lock battle in one corner. We got fucking Noah Bieniek playing double digits in an Ivy League game. He's lost his fucking mind with the Cornell.
Dartmouth
Big
isn't
Red.
up to par. Dartmouth is the new Columbia.
Moneyline MAAC. Season tide turned. They beat Brown. Now they're ready to go. Give me Dartmouth. All right. Next up on the slate, we got, I'll take you to another lock. Quinnipiac laying 7.5 at Manhattan. Quinnipiac. I'm tired of this fucking aqueduct shit. Manhattan, I'm telling you, Manhattan is a feisty dog in Gallagher's year number 1. Give me Manhattan, lock it up, sprinkle some on the money line.
I'm taking the Bobcats. They've been, rolling as of late. They're 8-1 in conference. They've won 7 in a row. Sure, Manhattan can be feisty at home. Why not? But they're off an overtime W against Niagara. That was their first win in 2 months. So I think Quinnipiac wins. They cover, but I'm not betting this one. Cocktail Napkin has this one at -8.5 for the Golden Griffins.
Yeah, I'm with you. I lean Quinnipiac in this one. Manhattan, and I went back the last 3 years, I think. These teams, they alternate wins at each other's house. Like they don't defend home court. So Quinnipiac's rolling this year. Manhattan is ugly, and they just came off an overtime win against Niagara. I think they're feeling themselves a little bit. So I think Quinnipiac, they get the best of them there. I hate the 6.5 numbers though. It feels like something always weird happens with those. So no play, but I lean that.
You got a single lock, no Bieniek. He was on Niagara. I took the Jaspers. I'm the king of the MAAC. Give me Manhattan, my Jaspers. Lock it up, baby. This is my league, baby.
How big is that head grown? It's just inflated like a balloon. It can't fit through the door frame.
What with the MAAC? I'm the king of the MAAC, baby. I'm like fucking like I need to stop betting every other league. I'm like 12-2 in my last MAAC games.
I hate this.
I mean, if other people are allowed to pad their stats, why am I not allowed to? It's not 12-2, but it's pretty damn good. I know it's 3-0 on Sunday, and then I think 2-1 on Friday. So 5-1 6-pack. See you at the winner's circle. Let's go Jaspers. Niagara is going to St. Pete. St. Pete is laying for St. Peter's is off. Let me pull up the stand. Where are we at? Where are we at in this MAAC right now? Quinnipiac 8-1. St. Peter's is 7-2. They should have lost the other day. I want to lock Niagara. I think Niagara's a better team.
I think you're high. St. Peter's is the better team.
I think St. Peter's is overrated.
Also, Niagara has their inner city rival Canisius on deck here. I think this line's short. You could say it smells. I don't care. It's a short slate. Cocktail Napkin has it by 6. I'll lock up the Peacocks to St. Peter's here.
Yeah, I'm a little familiar with St. Peter's. I bet Sienna's team total last Sunday with all the injuries they had. St. Peter's is actually missing Corey Washington too. I'm not sure what his status will be, but he's about 15 points a game, 6 boards. So they kind of looked a little lost, but they came out second half and handled Sienna. But if he's playing, I like St. Peter's in this game. If he's not playing, I'm not gonna play this game. But I see it's down to 4 already, so it's dropped a point. So we'll see what happens. But I lean St. Peter's.
In one corner, we got Noah Bieniek on his Peacock. Freaking, they got set. They should have lost to Sienna outright last week. That was lucky until they even won or covered. And they lost the rider. Counterfeit. Give me Niagara. Lock it up. Niagara outright.
You're picking out specific losses that St. Peter's had. I don't think you should be talking. This Niagara team lost outright to Sienna.
Yeah, but before that, they were rolling.
St. Peter's was rolling before any of these losses in conference too.
No, they're counterfeit. They don't have Sheehan Holloway anymore. Give me Niagara. Better team. Better coach. Greg Paul's got those guys rolling now. All right, let's go to the A-10 here. We got the Bonnies headed to Dayton. Dayton's laying 7. Nobody's going to bet on the Bonnies. So I'll bet on the Bonnies. I'll bet on the Bonnies here.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you why nobody's going to bet on the Bonnies. They're coming off a huge win against VCU. Now they come on the road. They have Dayton here at UD Arena, where we know it gets lit. I'm going to lay it with the Flyers. Cocktail Napkin has it at -9. I'm not that bold or confident in the pick, though. I think it's going to be a close game. Dayton can pull away with some free throws late, but overall, not very confident. I'll just pick the Flyers here at home.
I lean Dayton in this one. Haven't gotten any of my picks yet, but I like Dayton in this one. They love to shoot threes, and St. Bonnie's is allowing teams to score 35% of their points from 3-point land. Dayton's elite at not giving up free points at the free throw line either. So I like Dayton here at home Friday night. Energy. I believe this is a national televised game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I think Dayton gets the best one here. I think they roll. I may fire this one up. It's been piquing my interest. The last two games they won by 18 and 28 at home, so they're feeling themselves at home. Now they're going to put on national TV,
televised on ESPN2.
There we go.
Do you want to lock battle, Trevor? I'll take the Bonnies. Bonnies
right,
got a
let's
veteran.
do it.
Let's go. Here we go. Get this fucking Dayton Flyers shit out of here. In one corner, TVDBJ is on the Dayton Flyers. Moneyline MAAC. Bonnies for the third straight game.
I'll even take the 7.5 I see now. I'm not scared of that half point.
Let's go.
You actually like the half point more because it lets you know that you're on the right side.
Fuck the CLV.
CLV's overrated. Just has UCLA tonight. All right, this line fucking reeks. Ohio State's headed to Iowa City. I was laying 4.5. I want to take fucking Ohio State, but man,
no, you don't.
I can't trust them on the road. I'm not betting Ohio State. I'm not doing this shit. I'll take the Buckeyes, I guess. This is a perfect line. These two teams suck.
I'm going back to the well with the Hawkeyes at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Locking it up. I think they are more motivated for this game than Ohio State is. The games that I've seen the Buckeyes play lately, they look like they've just given up on the season once again, like we know them to do, like we knew they did last year. And the computers are still tricked by whatever talent they've got, whether it be Bruce Thornton at guard or the Jamison Battle transferring from Minnesota that everybody was fond of. Yeah, I mean, they've lost 6 of the last 7. No life from this team whatsoever. They got drilled from a lifeless Michigan team, for crying out loud, on the road. They lose by 14 by Nebraska. They lose 30 or 25 at Northwestern. At Iowa, I think it's more the same. So locking up the Hawkeyes here.
Boom.
Yeah, what Rob said, Iowa sucks, but I mean, Ohio State sucks even more.
I hate this game, man.
I'm not picking a side in this game. I'm probably going to play Iowa's team total over because Ohio State looks like they just have given up entirely and they don't care. And Iowa's coming home after a loss. But yeah, that, like you said, no, that 5.5 seems kind of sharp. For some reason, I just feel like Ohio State's going to hang around, especially a national TV game with all the eyes on this one is one of the bigger game on Friday. I think they hang around.
Cocktail Napkins got it -7. It's good enough for a lock in my book if it's going against Ohio State. So give me that.
There you go. It's just like two teams I just want to fade. So it's like I don't know what to do. All right, Noah Bieniek. He said go blue. He's taking the Iowa Hawkeyes. Lay the number.
Gold and black. Like
no, I said you're saying go blue. You're an Ohio State hater. Well known. You're fading the Buckeyes.
Sure. Call it what you want. I'm betting Iowa, though, when it's all set and done. I'm doing?
All right, let's go back to enough of this Big Ten and A10 bullshit. We got to go back to a real topic. We got to go back to the MAAC here, where we got Mount St. Mary's headed to Marist. Marist laying 2.5. Mount St. Mary's is going to win this game outright. Lock it up.
I'm on the Mount, too. I've seen Marist kind of fall apart in a couple of these games lately that I've caught with my own eyes. So I'm not as fond of the Red Foxes as I used to be. Catching a little bit of points. This game is going to be close. I'll just take the points. Cocktail Napkin has it +3. So I think it's either or, coin flip game. Give me the Mount.
Man, I like Marist here in this one. I'm kind of addicted to betting Marist this year too. I don't know what it is. It's their defense or something, but I love betting them. And Mount St. Mary's can't hang onto the ball whatsoever. But Marist is giving up a lot of free throw attempts, but I still don't care. I think the amount of turnovers and Marist at home, and it's only 2.5 now. I only have to win by 3. I love it. Give me Marist -2.5 at home against the Mount.
That is your biggest edge in this matchup. I mean, Marist's defense is solid. They're 20th in creating turnovers. Mount St. Mary's 343rd in turnover rate. So that's probably the deciding factor if this lock comes through for sure.
You know, Trevor just admitted he only listens to when Dundee talks. Because all he talks about is how good fucking Marist is. Fuck Marist. Battle?
All right, let's battle. Let's do it.
Slate. Another battle.
Let's do it.
Second battle. TVDBJ taking the Marist Red Foxes. You know Moneyline Mac. He's right with the Mountaineers. Not the West Virginia Mountaineers. Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers. Mount St. Mary's, desperate spot. Lost 3 in a row. They're better than the record. I've seen them play multiple times. All right, who we got next up on the slate? Columbia's head to Harvard. Fucking bring your fucking diploma to this fucking shit game. Harvard's laying 6. Softest.
So how is this a shit game if Cornell's looking forward to Harvard?
It's just two pussy institutions. These two like really stick out.
The whole Ivy League is.
No,
you need to explain yourself.
Not
your handicap on the Cornell game.
Dartmouth's got some shit to them.
I just caught Mac in a fucking pretzel.
I mean, they're all private school pussies. I mean, don't get me wrong, but Dartmouth, I like Dartmouth the best out of them. Give me Harvard. I'm not betting Harvard though. Not laying points. Fuck that.
So I'm confused by Harvard to say the least, because
I know they're all
when they were without Malik Mack, it was a total fade because they were very good at the beginning of the season. Mack's back. He's playing pretty well. I think he's had 16, 18, and then 22 points in his last 3 games. So it's like, okay, Harvard, your best player's back. He's playing well. They lose to Yale by 13. This is definitely should be a bounce back spot off of the Yale loss, but I still think they need to show it to me before I pick them or bet them. So I'm actually going to take Columbia because this one just seems like it's too low, in my opinion. Trevor, how about you?
Yeah, I was with you. I lean Columbia. I ain't no way in hell I'm betting it, but this is their best team in years that they've had at Columbia.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years, and this is a little bit of a down year for Harvard. So I mean, I lean Columbia. They can shoot the ball. They're shooting good free throws, so I lean Columbia. But I'm not betting this game. This is the best chance I have to get revenge in quite a while.
Matt, can you relate to Greg Massler here? He goes, Noah's like your annoying little brother. He might be right, but eventually you just hit him.
Yes, he is. Yeah. Sometimes he's got to fuck. He's like, he comes in behind the scenes. That's wrong. No, it's not fucking wrong because I said so. Next up on the slate, love you, Noah, but you're wrong here. You're always wrong. I'm always right.
Love you too, man.
Fairfield's going to Iona. We know what side Noah Bieniek's going to be on here because Tobin Anderson's in the game.
Do you? I'm on Iona.
Whoa.
I'm not betting it, but I'm taking the Gaels.
You just completely I'll be the little brother here. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm on the Gaels here. I'm not convinced one way or the other, but I think Fairfield's a better team at home. So yeah, that's the reasoning here with Iona.
I'll be Noah tonight. Fuck Tobin Anderson. Iona ain't covering this game. Fairfield, I like Fairfield. Iona also. They're sitting in the middle of the MAAC. Any team that's listed above them in the standings, they've gotten worked by. Anybody below them, they've beaten. Fairfield happens to be above them. Fairfield also can shoot the free throws, best in the country. Iona's allowing 21 attempts a game, 3 points at the line. Fuck Tobin Anderson. I'm not a fan.
He sold me. I'm buying it.
Oh, you fucking flipped.
Go fucking Fairfield, baby.
See what happens when Noah Bieniek goes first. Then he flips.
Cocktail Napkin has it +5, so it is kind of either or.
Are you locking this, Trevor?
I'm locking this. Yeah, I may even sprinkle money line. I don't know.
Right. Lock it up like for Fairfield.
Me too. Oh, a double lock.
Fucked over.
They're on the Fairfield Stags. This will be this will be a triple lock because Colby will take Fairfield. I'm on Iona, but I'm not going to bet it. I'll root for you guys.
Thanks, man.
I'm not betting.
Appreciate it.
We'll see. We'll see how I feel tomorrow at lunchtime. Maybe I'll say, those two guys.
Plus, we got Fairfield off the loss to Quinnipiac. It's not a terrible spot here.
And Iona only shoots 65% from the free throw line, so if it's going to get tight down the stretch for them to cover.
Them freebies, Sean Green's going to point out this is a 12% difference here, Mac, on the charity strip.
He loves that fucking free throw discrepancy.
We do.
Let's go back to the Ivy where we got Penn, the Quakers taking on the Brown guys. Both teams 1-3 in league play, but I think Brown's better. I think Brown's at home. Brown's laying points. Brown's laying what, 1 now? 1.5?
Yeah, I need Rob to come in here in all caps and explain why he's got Brown. There he is.
Brown right
on time.
I don't like this matchup for Penn. I'm on Brown. Fringe lock.
I don't know why I should be on Brown. Cocktail Napkin spit out that Brown's favored by 1.5 here, so it's the only reason why I'm on the Brown guys here. Trevor, how about you?
Man, there's a huge advantage for Penn on the glass. They're number 1 in offensive boards in the conference play. Brown's allowing 35% of offensive rebounds to go to the offense, or defensive rebounds to go to the offense. Penn can shoot. I think with those offensive rebounds, they're going to be able to kick out, get open looks. But I have Brown on my sheet. I lean Brown. I don't get it. This line is kind of stinky.
Why is Penn not favored?
Exactly. I don't know.
That's why I have Brown.
Exactly here. Like nothing.
You're locking it?
Did you hear that?
No, I'm not locking it. I hear it.
I wasn't playing it for you guys. Money line back comes the Brown guys.
You were locking it 2 minutes ago when you were
You guys swayed me. You guys are like, why are they not favored? Well, they're telling you. Brown's going to win this. Brown smash spot. Give me Brown. Let's go. Brown guys.
I'll probably find myself on this tomorrow too.
Yeah.
Just because.
They're telling you. Get this fucking
shout out to Chad G too. He says tomorrow's happy hour is Big 12 Friday. Get your notifications on. Yes, it is.
Chad G, you know who's a home dog on Saturday night in Morgantown again, and I'll be in the building. Stay tuned for the Big 12 tomorrow. West Virginia's the lock against BYU. All right.
That might be like the easiest show you guys ever do. Like a lot of those Big 12 plays just seem like they're self-explanatory.
System play.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't
You're on Texas from the SGP show. I don't get it.
I bet Texas has been good ATS in league play. They're good
TCU's
as a dog.
The only time they play Texas this year, TCU's the play.
Dude, Texas as a dog is good because when they're favored and they're feeling themselves, that's when Texas fucking does the horns down pussy shit.
Texas lines are always inflated. They're hitting the road. They're going to lose here to TCU. Lose by more than 3.
We'll see.
TCU's a zombie team. They don't die.
Quit. Why don't you just fucking join the show? Why don't you wake up on time and join the show tomorrow, Mr. Bieniek? All right, let's go to the game of the night.
Maybe I don't.
Let's go to the game of the night. Princeton headed to Yale. I'm seeing Yale's laying 3.5. Princeton was the darling. Princeton off the Cornell loss, 15-2 now. Is that right? Are they 15-2 overall? Or is it 14-2?
Princeton, 15-2.
15-2. Yale is the better basketball team than Princeton. I am locking up Yale. Revenge angle from the conference tournament. They should have been the one in the Sweet 16 last year. They were better last year. They're better this year. Get this Princeton shit out of here. I almost said private school pussy, but they're both private school pussies. Give me Yale. Lock it up.
I'm on Princeton. The reason for it is no, I'm not locking it. Princeton shoots the eighth most 3-pointers in the country. Yale's going to let them shoot it too. Their average defending the perimeter, 34.5%. they're allowing opponents to shoot. Princeton's shooting at 35%. Efficient all over the place on offense in general. They take care of the ball. They make their free throws. They do everything right. This one's going to be close within a possession. Yale could win it. This is my exact handicap from the SGP show that we did. Yale could win it, but I'm going to take the points with the Tigers. Trevor, where are you at? I mean, I think this is the game of the night here.
Oh, easily. And Ken Pumpsum has Ohio State, Iowa's game of the night with their throw score.
That.
They need to check that formula.
That's fucked up. That's why I didn't bet it. I'm like, I'm not watching that shit.
Box score, watch that shit. No, I'm on Yale in this one. I mean, Princeton cannot offensive rebound, so if their shots don't fall, they ain't getting a second chance at it. Not only that, but Princeton knocked off Yale to go to the tournament last year too. And so that's a huge revenge factor. Yale's the 28th tallest team in the country versus 297 for Princeton. They're not going to be getting rebounds. If their shots don't fall right away, they're not going to be scoring much. So I already bet Yale -3. If it's at 3.5, perfect. I love it even more. But yeah, I got Yale.
Let's go. Yeah. Did you lock that?
Oh yeah, I locked it. Fuck the
double lock. Bulldog.
No.
No, Bieniek, you want to battle us?
No.
Good idea. Yale Bulldogs. Moneyline Mac Trevor. Lock it up. All right, let's go to the Big East before we. The high major games kind of suck. But Butler Creighton's all right. I mean, it's better than Ohio State, fucking Iowa. Butler's going to Creighton. Creighton's laying 9. Should we lay it with Creighton? I think we should lay it with Creighton. Butler's they've won 3 in a row, kind of at the peak. Feel like they're just due to lay down here. Creighton's hard to beat in Omaha. I think they make their shots. Creighton by double digits.
Yeah, this is a tough back-to-back road slate here for Butler. They've got Creighton and then UConn next. Cocktail Napkin really didn't give me much help here. The Blue Jays are favored by 8.5 in my Cocktail Napkin. And honestly, them at home in Omaha, defense is going to play. I am going to lay it. I don't love it at all. But yeah, give me Creighton. Trevor, Butler and Creighton, where do you lay?
Well, one, Creighton hasn't covered a home game since December 9th against Central Michigan. So they're 0 I think they're 0-5 in 0-6 in conference play, 5 or 6. But regardless, I fucking hate Butler equally as much. They flare out and fold at the very end, and they have burnt us multiple times. But I don't know. I lean Butler in this one. I feel like that last second Nova win may have kind of gotten them, or that comeback may have kind of given them the confidence to show up to these games and believe that they can actually pull through an entire 40 minutes of game instead of first half and flaring out. But I'm not putting my money on Butler again. They've made me pissed off enough this year. I'll watch it and be upset that I didn't bet it rather than bet it and lose.
Yeah, Mac, the chat is upset that we skipped the moving company game. Siena at Ryder.
Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't want to pick this. This is why.
Why not? I'm locking up Siena.
Oh
what?
Man!
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm diving in.
They're not a Friday night. Now I'm telling you, they are bad on Friday nights. They're good on Sundays.
Yeah, Cocktail Napkin has them plus 8.5, so I'm getting 5 points here with Siena. You know what? Ryder, I've been super disappointed in. Dude. That was my preseason pick to win this conference, and they fucking fell flat on their face. So yeah, I'm on the Saints. It sounded very confident, but you know
that's filthy.
It's a short ass slate. So give me Siena. I'm gonna trust the Cocktail Napkin here.
Man, this whole game relies on if Duro Gordon and Ely are playing for Siena. Those guys are 38 points a game and 14 rebounds, and they've been missing the last 2 games. So I've been smashing their team total under. If those two are out again, team total under. They cannot score. They had this Tekken kid go like He shot unconscious last game, and they still missed the team total by scoring 1 point in the final 9 minutes. So you can't trust these guys. If they're both out, I'll be on team total under. Otherwise, I'm not touching this game whatsoever.
The line's telling you they're playing. Noah Bieniek's locking up the Siena Saints. I'm going against the Saints on Friday night. Give me the moving company, lay the number, lock it up.
Jerry Davis says Siena is the hospital of the East.
Yeah, there's going to be times to come back on Siena. Not tomorrow. They're going to get killed tomorrow. Rider by 20. Let's go.
Rider hasn't beaten anybody by 20 this season.
Siena scored 1 point the final 10 minutes of a game. Anybody could cover 13 against that.
Rider just fucking beat St. Pete's and then Mount St. Mary's on the road back-to-back. They're peaking, and they're getting healthy. Let's go. Moving company. They were the best team in the league almost last year, other than fucking
they should have been the best team in the league coming in this year. They returned the most experience and talent this year, too.
It's February. It's a new month. Rider by 20. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a new month, and you just said they peaked in January. So, Siena, Saints.
Siena
carries over.
Rider didn't peak in January.
You just
said 4-5 in league play. They're 4-5 in league play.
Your literal quote was they just beat St. Peter's and Mount St. Mary's on the road.
Got some momentum.
You said peaking.
No, they're starting to peak.
You know, at the peak, at the climax, there's then a decline.
You just said they're the best team in MAAC from a talent roster standpoint.
I said they were returning the most experience and talent.
They're going to end up 12-6.
They have not played like it, and that was the handicap for me. I've been super disappointed with Rider. This is too many points.
Good luck to everybody on Siena. Let me know how that experience treated you. You guys gonna have Detroit next week too. Let me know. It's
Are you going to give them
break 60? It'll be a miracle.
I will be on Detroit against Robert Morris. I mean, they lost in triple overtime at Bob Morris. Yes, I'll be on Detroit against Bob Morris.
Good luck on Detroit next week.
That's the last time I'm taking them. If they can't beat Bob Morris, I don't know if they will. I got to see when they play Ooey Pooey. But yeah, this is the third to last time tonight.
What do you make the line IUPUI versus Detroit? At Detroit, we'll give them home court.
I can look it up. What it would be.
Was it? Wait, no. Detroit was favored at Ooey Pooey. Remember?
Yes. The last time
Detroit
laying 3.5. Wait,
yeah, they are favored again.
3.5. They're telling you. Lock it up.
Yeah, they're telling you.
All right, let's go to the MAAC, not the MAAC, the Mid-American Conference. This is a phenomenal matchup. Toledo, the Rockets, going to Akron, the Zips. Both teams 8-1 in league play. Akron's laying 4. I think everybody's going to want to take Akron. I like Toledo here. I think Toledo might win the game outright. These games always come right down the wire. Lock up Toledo. Sprinkle some on the money line, man. I kind of think they're playing the better brand of basketball. I think Akron's more brand name. Toledo's won this league the last 3 years. I said the last 2 years earlier. Noah corrected me. He's absolutely correct. Give me Toledo. I think they win. I think they win this game.
Yeah, so shout out to our guy, Dan Savage, the Toledo Rockets super fan. Heritage of Savage Arena in Toledo. He sent me this blurb, and I mean, it came through the first time he sent me a handicap, and we're going with it again. Toledo's won 12 of the last 15 matchups, going back a decade to 2013 when Kowalczyk began with Toledo. During that time, Toledo's 5-3 in the jar and 7-0 at Savage. Akron's margin of victory in their wins is 5 points. Toledo's margin of victory in their wins is 14.77 points. He goes, not sure about a cover, but Toledo has 3 possible losses left on the schedule on the road. It would be Akron, Bowling Green, Miami. Toledo should win the rest at home. History says Toledo owns the Zips. So I'm right there with him. I gave it out on SGP as a lock, and I'm sticking with it, even though the line has shortened up a little bit. Cocktail Napkin has, as it should be, Akron laying 7.5 points. This is only at 5, I believe we're picking it at, Mac. I'm still taking the points here. I like the handicap for the Rockets side of point of view. I'll lock it up. Give me UT.
Yep. I'm liking. I haven't bet it yet, but I'm liking Toledo. I mean, Akron's looking to get revenge for that double sweep last year, but Toledo has dominated these guys. I mean, they're 8-2 in last 10, 7-3 against the spread. In those, and like Max said, all of these games are close. I think the biggest blowout was 15 points in Toledo's favor. Otherwise, Akron won by 8 2 years ago. So I think Toledo shows up here. Enrique Freeman may have a big game, but this is just a familiar matchup that both coaches are ready for. So give me the points in Toledo.
You heard that? Triple lock. Moneyline.
I'll lock it up. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't. Oh,
no meaning. He basically said he was locking it on the Toledo Rockets.
Mac just told him he's locking it.
You're locking it, Trevor. You're locking it. All right. Next up, final game on the slate, and then we'll dive into Saturday here tomorrow after.
This shows a problem. You bring the guests on, and they bet way more than they usually do, apparently.
Yeah, welcome.
Max tells them, you're betting this game.
Welcome to the fucking show. Let's go. Fucking Charles said we act like we're in fucking church. If you're allowed to fucking drink vodka in fucking church, I guess we are. Shout out to Charles. Thank you for tuning in. But no, this is not fucking church, buddy. San Jose is going to Nevada. Nevada's laying 12. Nevada, dude, they're off a loss. But San Jose State, I kind of want to take San Jose State. I'm not going to bet this one. I have a hard time handicapping Alfred games.
Yeah, and it's also a solid sandwich spot here. Nevada's got Utah State next.
Yeah.
Cocktail Napkin's got a slight shade to San Jose State in a game like this where I really don't have an opinion on either side. I think Nevada should win this game, but by how much and how much do they dress it up by with Utah State on deck is the question. Give me the Spartans. No conviction behind the pick at all, but I'll take San Jose State here. Trevor, where are you at on this final game of the slate?
Man, I really like Nevada after getting spanked by New Mexico at the pit. But yeah, like you said, they got Utah State on the road on deck. So I mean, how much are they really putting forward to this game? I mean, maybe you could look at a first half angle for Nevada to come out and put it on them and try to coast the second half here. But man, I don't know. 12 is a lot. It kind of feels like it's telling you what's going to happen. They don't call him Big Game Alfred for no reason. So I mean, this is it.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of conviction here.
No.
It's probably good that I won't bet this because I'll be more focused on Saturday's show when we do this tomorrow night, because obviously we have a marathon episode tomorrow.
Favorite play, guys? Eastern, like we've done kind of a couple of times in a row here,
Favorite play, Noah. So if you go 6-1 and you lose that one, you will be shot.
I've only got 5 bets.
Oh, I remember when I did one of that. Who's your favorite bet?
Trevor, you can go ahead and start if you want.
Oh man, if I'm gonna go favorite bet, I'm gonna have to go Yale. I like the revenge spot for him. I mean, you got knocked out of the tournament by Princeton. Now you have a massive height advantage. You can shoot and rebound, and they're coming to your house on Friday night where people are gonna have eyes on it. I like Yale to get past Princeton. Plus, Yale's owned this series the last 10, 12 games too. So
yeah,
give me Yale best bet.
Yeah, this is a fun game called basketball. It's entertaining to watch as well. One team significantly just does not enjoy this sport. It's Ohio State. They go on the road to cover Hawkeye. They play Iowa. Iowa's going to smash them here. They're still playing for something. Ohio State's season's done. So give me the Hawkeyes. Minus 4.5. Minus 5. I think we picked it up. Something.
I really don't.
I got it 4.5.
If you're making me choose one, I will go with the Mountaineers. I like Mount St. Mary's tomorrow. No. Actually, I like taking a home team for my favorite play. I like Mount St. Mary's a lot. I may take the same angle as you, Trevor. I like Yale too in the Ivy League game. I think you muted yourself.
So you guys double locked your favorite pick of the day.
Throw another unit on it.
There you go. Yale Bulldogs, revenge angle.
All right. Well, that wraps it up, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to look elsewhere. I mean, I didn't take a lot of home teams, which hopefully who knows what's going to happen. I'll go Mount St. Mary's just because Trevor went.
Make up your mind.
He went Yale, so I'll give out a different pick. Give me Mount
like
St.
a
Mary's.
Woman trying to figure out what she's going to wear for the day.
Here comes fucking Bieniek over there.
No offense, Avetta. We love you, but sorry.
Yeah,
you're in
timeout. You've been canceled, Noah. So, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the college experience. I don't know when Pick Dundee will be back. Everybody keeps asking in the chat. Stay tuned. Follow him on Twitter at Pick Dundee, D Colby D. Follow Trevor at Stooley Picks. Follow Noah Bieniek at Noah B77 _ at Moneyline _ Mac for me. No, anything else before we get up on out of here? I know tomorrow will be a marathon, so everybody grab your whiskey, grab everything you need.
Subscribe, leave a review wherever you listen to the podcast. There was something else that I was gonna say, but
260 people in here. Smash that like button.
We don't normally end the podcast. That's Colby's job. Obviously, there's a hole in our strength here in finishing off the show. Go ahead and kill it, Mac. I don't have anything else to say.
Oh, I wanted you to do your part. Trevor, thank you again. Pleasure having you on the show. Obviously, long time coming. We'll have you guys back. We're going to sprinkle some guests in here over whenever Colby comes back. We don't know when Colby's going to come back. You guys can read between the lines on what's going on right now in his personal life. Like you said, it's his story to tell, not ours. So this is the college experience.
His news to break.
Yes, it's go check out the Big 12 experience. We'll be going live tomorrow around happy hour, previewing the Big 12 games, best league in America. Don't want to hear any other nonsense. Go check out the FCS experience. Go check out the college baseball experience with Noah Bieniek and company. We'll be doing a Big 12 episode here in a minute, so a little crossfire.
It was going to be this week, but
yeah,
kind of,
And go check out the main sports gambling podcast. Noah Bieniek and I were on there earlier. We're giving out Saturday winners. So that's all I got. We will see you guys tomorrow, 10 Eastern. We'll go a little bit earlier, like you said, because we know it'll be a 3-hour marathon. This is the college experience, and we are out of here.